So a quartet of Irishmen on the Dan Nicholl show, two from south of the border, the two of us from north of the border, and both big South African rugby fans. You had a poster of a South African up on your bedroom wall.
I had a poster of Bobby Skinstead.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good looking guy, in fairness.
Great hair. Great hair. And just like the way he played the game. And I was a fly half until my final year and then a winger, so I had no right to have pictures of flankers on the wall, but I also, by the way, there was a period where I had posters of Eric Elwood on my wall in my bedroom. So, I was eclectic mix of
Bob will be pleased to hear that.
What about your South African rugby memories, Paul? Good times?
Yeah, great times. Obviously, I was down there with the Lions in 2009. And we probably left it behind us, really. We'd a really poor first half in Durban. We gave ourselves too much of a hill to climb, lost that first test. Blew a good lead in the second test in Loftus, and I met Ernie Els at the tournament here today, and we were chatting about Loftus. He was obviously at that game, and we won the last test in Johannesburg, which, even though the test series was over, essentially, it was probably a very important win for the Lions, because the Lions hadn't won a test since the very first test in 2001 against Australia. So we had a great tour, and we played against some of the best players in the world, the likes of Scott Berger, Victor Matfield, who I thought was a phenomenal player, Fourie Dupree, amazing guys who created.
He's here this week.
Yeah. Two or three handicapper, I believe.
Is he? Yeah.
He's a very, very good golfer. Yeah, not as good as Jamie, but he's a very good golfer.
He's probably as good as Jamie. He just doesn't play at 15.
What about you, Brian? Your South African rugby memories?
Yeah, that tour, I have to say, of the Lions tours I was on, I think I probably had most fun on that one. You look back on games that you'd like to replay just because it was proper, real, true, hard rugby.
I think it was the ultimate combination of professionalism, where you have these amazing athletes who are fit, strong, fast, and then kind of an amateur ethos in that guys were willing to do anything to win. Obviously very proud South African guys playing, very guys who were to play for the Lions was the be-all and end-all, and you guys practically ending themselves trying to win that game, as you saw in Loftus. Brian's clash with Danny Rousseau, it was incredibly tough physically, but it was an amazing test match.
Yeah,
it was the ultimate. It was pure. Yeah.
And we threw away a big lead, and there's small moments that you look back on. They kicked a goal just on the stroke of half time, and I think back to those moments where I should, we gave away a penalty for crossing from 55 out when I should have just kicked it long, and that's the difference in the end. It's those tiny moments.
So lots of good South African memories. You've got some South African memories as well. You went over to South Africa. You had 3 months to stay anywhere you wanted in the whole of South Africa, and you picked forwards.
It wouldn't make sense to stay. I was shooting like 25 minutes away from there. That's why I stayed there. And also, for that 3 months, I just couldn't find your number. I just lost it. I don't know what to say. I found it as soon as we landed back in the UK. I found it.
Plans to come back out of South Africa for any of you?
I was out there in January for the first time.
Visiting the Laureus project.
Yeah, so it's the first time I've been out during their summer, which it's a completely different place. A great energy around Cape Town, a lot of wind, but it's a fabulous place.
I was in Cape Town for New Year's Eve there for a wedding. I was best man, my best mate Mikey, who Brian knows, got married out there, and no one had told me about the water, and I just dashed in thinking, we're in South Africa, the water's going to be really nice. Couldn't believe it. It's like the Atlantic. Couldn't believe it.
Well, it is the Atlantic. Lest you forget, as we wrap up with our Irishman, Jamie used to be a model. Very sweet, but not the brightest.
Great to see you, lads. Catch you later.